Welcome. It's UFC 300. It's going to be a little bit of a different intro. Welcome to a 6-star edition of Props to Consider and Then Maybe Bet. I am your host. I am the paragon of virtue. I am the desk of Lou Betya. And joining me is the national treasure, the instant classic, Uncle Weezy. 2 nicknames, bitch.
What's up, Lou? I'm ready for this card, man. I've been waiting for this one for a minute. I came back from vacation on purpose in time for
Lies,
this week.
liar.
On purpose. On purpose. And let me tell you something, man. I'm proud of my heritage, 75% Greek, 25% Danish.
Are you behind
And,
me? Are you
growing
behind me?
up with Greek people in the family, you hear about Greek exceptionalism. Lou, I've heard it all my life. Michael, why you no speak Greek? Michael, why you no go to Greece? You see the birthplace of civilization in Greece, the most beautiful country in the world. They give the gifts of philosophy. They give the gifts of mathematics. They give the gifts of beauty and history to the world. Then I go to Italy. Oh my God. Italy is so gorgeous. Italy is incredible. And I'm now really obsessed with Italian culture as well as Greek culture, as well as Scandinavian culture. Rome,
Italy and Greek's
beautiful.
kind of like, but you're still Mediterranean. You're still,
Yeah, absolutely. That Mediterranean excellence,
Oh,
that's all
what
around
the,
that
what
sea,
the,
well, around most of it,
why is this a comment? The fuck in here, dude. No, you're not in chat, dude. Dude, you know how many times he did this to me when I hosted like the DFS show with us? He's like, oh, I can't. I'm busy tonight. Like, can you host? I'm like, sure. And he's in chat. Oh, and I'm like, well, if you're in chat, like, what the fuck are you doing? Brady, where are you, son? We're killing time until you get your ass in here. So, for you guys that don't know, I asked Weezy one favor and he failed me. I said, bring me home Tony Danza. And he failed me. And he failed to bring me Tony Danza.
Dude, these prick airlines, they'll barely let you bring a bag this big on board. You try to bring Tony Danza on a goddamn plane and put him in the overhead container. He deserves way better than that. He deserves our respect. University of Dubuque graduate, stand up. Tony Danza, one of the great American actors.
Samantha, Angela, Moner. Also, you know what he does right now? He's a teacher in Philly, dude.
Is he really?
And he's like my old man. So my old man just turned 83. Just so you guys know. I mean, this is Weezy and I like all the time. But like we're waiting for Brady to not mod the channel, which is weird. But like my old man is like, dude, and my old man's still a tank. He just turned 83, but he's like getting shorter and shorter. And like Danza now doesn't look like he play shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals anymore. Now he looks like he looks like a guy that teaches.
Yeah, we get a little bit older, we get a little bit more professorial every year that passes. And yeah, I mean, like he was the boss. Now, maybe not so much, but yeah, Tony Danza's great American actor, like I said.
So Weezy, let's give something to the people. Hold on. Get in here. I'm just writing, get in here, ho, to Brady. You're driving. All right.
He's driving.
All right.
Yeah.
So how about this? When Brady comes on, we're going to start. But let's give the people something that I joke about literally every week. It's like a running joke on the show, but it's actually something you and I have talked about. Why do people watch the show? A, I'm insane. B, they're bored. But C, because every week I quote that you and I actually have done the science between why we pick a yam bag play. We're not giving our yam bag play out yet. But you and I have talked about like, okay, there's reasons. And then when I get guys on here like Lucrative, who's like, legitimate capper, not like this old chunk of coal, or like Liam, and then they're like, like, oh man, I don't really want to do this. And like lucrative, like, and whatever's going on him right now on Twitter, that's none of whatever. But when James came on the show and he's like, you could tell he's like, I don't really want to break down a ball shot. But within 30 seconds, he's like, oh, there's an edge. And I'm like, yes, dude. People love breaking down why. So I would like to pass it to you. And if Brady's not in before that, you and I will just start the show. But Weezy, when we started this whole nonsense fucking 2 years ago, you were like, there's a science. Please discuss to the crowd how this started, like looking for little edges.
Well, it started in one particular judo class that I was in, and I'm a righty, right? And I'm squaring off against a lefty in what they call randori, Lou.
Did it also include ball sensitivity?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm getting to that part of it, So, like, some of the throws that we do in judo, will be inner reaps, whether it's an inside trip or whether it's like a throw like an uchimata, which is what they call the old whizzer kick, right? Where you get that overhook on the right arm and you kind of pull your opponent towards you and then you step in front, and then you reap that inner leg up their inner leg and they go flying over your leg, right? And when you can do that against somebody that's the same stance as you, you can get in on that throw in a proper way and it winds up happening a little more naturally. If you're going against somebody against the opposite stance, they can step in and where they would reap that leg against somebody of the same stance, they're not really reaping your leg, they're reaping your sack, right? And it happened to me. I was going up against this guy. He went for the whizzer kick. I tried to step over it. And instead of, me stepping over, I got a thigh right in the sack. Went down like a sack of potatoes, curled up into the fetal position and moaned for a while. I don't know. I lost some time. I definitely lost time, Lou, because when I came to, there was like 10 or 12 people over me looking extremely concerned. It was very similar to when Alex Pereira knocked out that poor Thomas Powell in LFA, and the guy didn't wake up for like 4 minutes after Alex landed that left hook. There was like that prayer circle around him, where people were like, please, for the love of God, wake up. That was what had happened to me. And what happens is, Lou, is that when people are in opposite stances, the offensive options kind of get a little bit muted for that you're used to, because you're used to going up against somebody in the same stance. And what happens is there's awkward situations for the orthodox fighter, and you're going to find inside leg kicks fine in the sack. You're going to find your jab, which would normally wind up getting poked in the eye because of it. So whenever you got two people in opposite stances, there's that awkward offensive striking nature, which will lead to eye pokes and sack punches, as you call a yam bag shot. And that's one of the key elements of choosing a good yam bag shot, is finding people in opposite stances.
The people call it that. And the people call it that because, yes, I made it.
Yes, because you call it that.
Now, I come from a different sport from you, Weezy. I come from bad boyfriend jitsu.
Okay.
Where girls I dated were like, I'm kicking you in the sack because you're a piece of shit. Oh, look at this guy. I'm Brady. I'm so important. By the way, Brady, thanks for being safe by wearing your seatbelt. And B, thanks for being on brand by wearing your sponsor. Always wear your ABC, dude. Always be closing.
I set my alarm for 3:50 and I woke up at 4:10. So I'm running a little bit late.
That's fine. So I'm letting you know right now, because I'm such a great host and I pivot. I gave Weezy two nicknames. I was going to give you you were going to be the instant classic, but Weezy got both. But I also reached out to Liam and Gordo. I'm like, if you hoes are bored, come on for one prop. Because I run a tight ship, jerk.
I know, it's my bad. That never happens.
So anyway, if you guys are here for the first time, we're going to break down 3 props each, talk about the main event, and with a flourish with the yam bags, which is, of course, why we're all here. But since Brady is running on probably 87, dude, do you put 87 in your car?
I don't know. I just put the regular, man.
You don't know what gas you put in
It
your
is the
car?
regular. That's the
Yes, I
87.
put
Yes.
the 87. Yes.
Yes, that's the 87.
Yeah.
Wheezy, who's the pizza place in Chicago? Lou what?
Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's is 93 octane. You're putting in 7-Eleven pizza in your car, Brady.
It gets your job done, man.
8.1 from Portnoy. But let's get to it. So, Brady, since you're so distracted, why don't you start us off? Oh, also, if you had Brady wearing hat, minus 280, it cashed. Unlike this asshole's show this week, no hat, plus 650.
I know.
And you know who knew I lost that bet? My girlfriend's like, he's not wearing a hat. I'm like, what a piece of shit. What an absolute
I told everybody.
piece of... After 2 weeks of filling in on a DFS show, this son of a bitch gets his haircut, costs me money. Weezy, by the way, you're welcome. 2 weeks. Let's go.
Did you fill in? I didn't know. I didn't watch, man. I
haven't slept because of the Klauster's Kitchen energy drink I drank, which brought the house down. Can I give a shout out before we start to Justin Villegas, who I don't know if somebody's writing his scripts or his medication's good. This motherfucker has been funny as shit all year. And I just want to give Justin the proper, let's go, dude. All right, Brady, prop number 1. What do you got?
All right, my prop number 1 is
in your Kia Soul. I'm guessing.
Not a Kia Soul at all. My prop number 1 is going to be in the Calvin Kattar Aljamain Sterling fight. I'm going to be taking Calvin Kattar by knockout at +5. Almost hit a squirrel. +500. Yeah, me and Weezy were talking about these props last night, and I was kind of surprised to see both the Sterling sub prop at +480 and then that Calvin Kattar knockout at +500. Calvin Kattar has finished 4 of his fights by knockout in the UFC. Should have been 5 in that Giga fight, I thought. Sterling coming up a weight class. I feel like that knockout's live at +500. I think he's live for the knockout there.
Are you at a stoplight? Oh no! Are you staring at us? Like, what are you doing?
I finally got home. He got home. All right, give him. Well, yeah, give him a minute, and he'll be back.
All I can think of right now is Brady, like all the body cam arrest videos and Brady, and man, if a cop pulled Brady over, I'd be like, arrest this man. check for crack.
And then you hear, "Screw you, pig! I'm out of here!" And then you hear the
no, Weezy. You know what we're gonna hear? Why are you arresting me? I don't. No, I'm not driving. I'm traveling. Brady's gonna pull.
I'm preambling.
Brady's gonna pull all the sob shit that I don't know if you guys ever seen Sovereign Citizens online. Why are you pulling me? Their script literally says annoy the cops. They're like, dude, can you just, you were going can we just give you a citation, man? Why are you doing this? They're like, the next thing, their window's broken. Oh my God, why are you pulling me over? I'm not resisting, whatever. So Kattar, this show is not about our picks. I think Kattar is a really good prop at that. Weezy and I are going to be on Couch Warrior show later, so I'm interested to see where Weezy and I kind of sit with that fight. But Weezy, what is your first prop to consider and then maybe bet for UFC 300?
So this is one that Brady and I were talking about last night, and we were looking at that Andrade Rodriguez fight, and we were looking at a fight doesn't go to decision at +110, and it's like, man, for a women's strawweight fight, I want more than +110. So we looked and we saw that Jessica Andrade has 20 3-round fights in the UFC since 2013, and Marina Rodriguez has 9. Now, 48.28% or 14 of 29 of their combined UFC fights that were scheduled for 3 rounds finished inside the distance. But all 14 of those finishes came in the first 2 rounds. So instead of paying +110, We can get the fight doesn't start round 3 at plus 165 right now on DraftKings. And I think it's a cheekier way to play this violence bet here because I feel like Jessica Andrade is very front loaded. You know, she comes out, she forces a fight. And because of that, you know, she puts herself in a lot of bad positions where her opponents can take care of it or take advantage of her lack of defensive ability. So Jessica's been finished in all but one UFC loss. And Marina Rodriguez has been finished a couple of times in the UFC as well. So, well, she's got one finish herself, and she's got one time that she has been finished. So fight doesn't start round 3, plus 165. It's the best priced bet right now that kind of encapsulates both fighters' win and lose conditions inside the distance.
Now he's got a fucking hat on. What an asshole.
Having a bad hair day.
I haven't. I was gonna. I didn't do this for the show, but I really looked hard at this Andrade sub. I just can't. Oh, look at this fucking asshole. Let's talk about assholes. Look at this. Look at this fucking asshole. My guy Pat and Melon. Shout out to my dude Melon. Always locks. This guy. Thank you guys so much. 2060 live right now. Thank you guys so much for spending your Thursday afternoon. So my lowest prop is plus 500.
Wow.
Well, bitch, I bring the heat. I know. Here's the crappy part. All my props are plus 500 or 550. I'm going to start with Justin Gaethje, round 3, 4 or 5 KO. It's on FanDuel, plus 500. I have a bet on Holloway. I'm immediately going to get out of this. I have 2 bets I put that are live, and I'm like, man, I don't like either one of these. I'm hesitant to break down this fight in full because I don't want you guys to think I'm actually good at breaking down fights. So what I will say is, well, I got to say that I got 9 hours of content as the rest of the night goes on. So what I will say is, it's not a matter of how Holloway looked against Poirier years ago, because Poirier doesn't really throw a ton of leg kicks. He just mixes up grappling. Dude, Gaethje is just a goddamn animal the way he spams leg kicks. And they're not feints. They're vicious and he's quick. Gaethje looks like a functional, I can't say the word that rhymes with T-Rard anymore on air. But I feel that Gaethje is so much smarter than people give him credit for. He's such a good boxer. He's such an intelligent fighter. He really does stay out of trouble. What's Gaethje's worst performance? Khabib killed him. Oh no. Dude, Gaethje's just so good at staying out of range, hitting leg kicks. I kind of think he just chews up Holloway's legs. Holloway's going to switch stances in the second round, third round. He's going to get his legs chewed up. And once he does, the hands are going to come down. I think Gaethje just fucks him up, dude. I really do. And he's talking about I want to beat him by doctor stoppage, which is really weird. That's a horrible thing to say against Holloway. It's just a horrible, he could be dude, I hope I knock him out because he doesn't get knocked out. Not, I want the doctors to stop this and I'm going to he's doing your line on the DFS show. He's I hope I drink your blood. It's dude, just beat him. I think Gaethje gets him out late. Round 3 through round 5 is plus 500. I really think we're getting a leg kick TKO here, and if I could bet that exact way we win the fight, I would. Because Gaethje, you watch if you go watch I'm trying to temper myself and not look too smart on this show. But if you watch the Ferguson fight, it was leg kick, hands went down, shot to the face. He fought so smart. He realized Ferguson's movement was compromised, just kept kicking him. And as soon as his hand went, the finish was based on headshots, but that's not really how, it was attritional over. Dude, Gaethje's so much smarter than people give him credit for. So I really do think he can get an attritional KO here. So anyway, That's my first. Weezy, number 2. I can't take Brady seriously right now.
What do you want me to do?
He's not in a car. He's wearing a hat. He's fucking with my head. Weezy, do you work with this guy every week?
Every week.
How do
every
you
week,
deal
man.
How do you deal with this guy?
Well, I mean, behind the scenes, Brady will tell you this, but he does a great job of keeping it a secret. I'm extremely eccentric, so like there are things,
you aren't.
No, I keep it a secret. I'm a huge diva. A lot of times, even just 1 minute before Stat Diggers starts, I am just bawling, crying, and Brady has to calm me down, tell me everything's gonna be all right. I mean, it's not easy, so I just do a good job of hiding it. My on-screen persona has it all together, but the reality is that I'm a goddamn mess.
I got a smoking jacket on now, bish.
There you go. Looking good, dude. Looking good.
Just so you guys know, like, all this is fun with them. Like, I don't exist in this space literally without these two and without Monk. I'm not a thing. So they know I'm busting their balls, but I'm just showing Weezy I can look good in a robe too. But what I can't look good is drinking Doritos and tequila. That's not on brand for me. Is drinking a fucking Paloma.
Dude, it's on brand for anybody who enjoys life and a lovely beverage.
I love drinking, and I like drinking miserable drinks. Like I wish old granddad would sponsor this show because Brady, do you know what old granddad whiskey is?
No.
It's like not bottom shelf, but it's the next shelf. But here, Weezy will appreciate this. I have the tagline for him. You ready, Weezy?
Yeah.
Weezy, how long have you been with your girlfriend? 20 years?
17.
Okay. Weezy, old granddad whiskey. Your girlfriend will know.
It's true. It's
walk
true.
over and be like, I'm sorry you had a bad day. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're drinking this and you had a bad day. And they'll just leave the room and be like, whenever you're ready to talk. You're drinking this whenever you're ready to talk. I made them that's $1 million just made them. Okay, let's get to props. Look at this. See, by the way, when I said this guy's an asshole, look at this. He's like, oh, I drink a bottle for starters. What a dick. Pat, we love you, dude. We miss you in the space. Weezy, go ahead. Prop number 2, son.
Dude, I just got booed for giving out a plus 165, so I'm bringing the heat this time, ladies and gentlemen.
Props to consider, dude.
Yes,
Stop.
yes. We're throwing away the fuck. We're not being defensive anymore. Yusuf Lopez, fight doesn't start round 2, plus 230, bitches. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Melon, you want to make some money? Huh? Plus 230, baby. You get fatter than that, you're gonna be getting stuck in doorways because your ass is gonna be this wide. So plus 230. Fight doesn't start round 2. Yusuf and Lopez, 10 combined UFC fights. 5 of them, Lou Betya, have finished inside the distance. Let me ask you something, Brady. How many of those 5 finished in round 1? Can you enlighten the rest of us here?
5.
All 5 of them. So why would you pay that extra price on the fight doesn't go to decision? Get in there. Pay a cheaper price. Don't worry about it. We're gamblers. Nobody's going to bust our onions for being cheap. We're supposed to be cheap. We're supposed to pay the cheapest prices. Plus 230. Fight doesn't start round 2. It gets no fatter than that, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to haul ass with an ass that fat. You're going to take 2 trips. Let's go.
I love it, dude. I fucking love it. Good step up. But more importantly, and we'll just the end, Weezy's prop template. Like, this is what he does, dude. He's a mad scientist.
That's right.
He's a mad scientist who knows science. I'm a mad scientist who's mad.
Dude, let me just pat myself on the back right here. Did you guys know that I have a degree from the Harvard of the Midwest, ladies and gentlemen? No. Northern Illinois University, one of the finest universities that's ever been erected in this country. That's where champions are made, where legends are born. Go Huskies.
My degree is from Blue Mountain State.
It's a great school.
It's a
great school.
Some people understand that reference, and most won't.
Working class school, ladies and gentlemen. Great football program too.
Alan Richardson's my boy. All right, Brady, what do you got for prop number 2?
So since
I
we
love
all
that,
get
I
one,
love Weezy gets all my fucking shit, dude.
so Lou, since we all get one pussy bet, can I use my pussy bet up right here?
I don't do any pussy bets. You guys are my guests. You do what you want for the Vox Populi.
And I get one pussy plus 100 bet, right?
Do you like to, how much do you like to bet?
I like it quite a bit.
And that's great.
Okay, so my pussy bet of the week is going to be Zhang Wei Li inside the distance at plus 100.
That's not a pussy bet.
It's a pussy bet. It's plus
Not
100.
really.
It's she's minus 500. Getting there to plus money here.
I think it's racist. It's not a pussy bet.
It's not racist. I think she fucks Yang Xiaonan on the mat. I think she takes her down and just fucks her and eventually finds the finish. Could be TKO. Honestly, I could even give like this. I think the sub could be live as well. Because I think this fight is going to play out on the mat. Zhang Wei Li has a decent ground. Like I think the sub at plus 600 could be live, but my pussy bet of the week will be that plus 100 inside the distance. One of my favorite spots of the week. I think she fucks her.
All right. The fact that you've cursed 3 times on air when you've cursed 3 times less than that on your channel is the best. I like that I bring that out in you. You're like, I'm cursing. Not acceptable.
He's not cursing. He's actually using the proper term for making love. And I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. It's just going to be a lot more violent than what we're used to doing with our partners.
I remember 20 years ago when making love was a sport I was good at. Now I'm just an old chunk of coal. I'll save my favorite breakdown for last here. I'll spend 30 seconds this one. Oh my God, look at this fucking douchebag. My guy, the Dogfather. My guy, dude. If you're not following Dogfather, dude, Andrew's my guy, dude. Awesome fucking dude. Seriously, dude. If I call him a douchebag on air, that's love. One of my dudes. How about I just give the system play? So, and I get like the unders here for Raheem Sterling. I'm thinking of fucking soccer. God damn, I hate Raheem Sterling on Manchester City. Aljamain Sterling and Kevin Cater. I really do favor the under here for a lot of reasons. But I do feel like system play is Aljamain Sterling by bullshit robbery. Because that seems to be his win condition every fucking fight. It's only plus 550. It's terrible. But like,
is it decision or split decision?
Split decision.
Yeah.
But isn't that how Sterling wins? And like, man, I'm gonna elaborate this. I'm gonna look so smart on these shows later. They're like, holy shit, you're coming up with factoids. So I'll give you a preview. It's not even Sterling's UFC fights. Like, look what he's doing on like in his spare time. He's changed coaches. He doesn't really even have a camp. And then he's doing like grappling competitions and jiu-jitsu. He's doing like all sorts of bullshit right now. That's not like UFC. He's just doing random competitions. And they're all like 29-28. They're like close, weird things. Maybe he's just that dude that fights weird, close fights. And the last thing I'll add to why I really like it is I'm not the kind of guy that complains about the judges because most of the fights I bet, the reason I haven't been betting heavy lately is I only really like betting fights that I think are going to end inside the distance. But what have we seen? How does this fight go? Do you see a world where Sterling has 9 minutes of control and does no damage, and Cater has 2 minutes of punches and every meaningful shot's him? How do you judge it? So, and are they maybe trying to make Sterling a thing at 145? His win condition is bullshit split decision. It's what he does, dude. So plus 550 is a terrible line, but it's a terrible line because they're like, yeah, it's his money line. So I actually love the under for reasons that I will break down later at this price. I fucking love the under. But if Tim Troiano is allowed to give out 9 picks at a fight, I'm allowed to give out 2. I'm giving out the split decision. Shout out Tim Troiano, my brother. We're 2 fights in. I hope one of you guys picks this fight. It's weird that we haven't gotten this one yet. But Weezy, what's number 3 before we get to the main event?
Okay, for the last one, we're going to the Turner versus Moicano fight, and there's a couple of props that I like here, one on each side. But we broke this down when I busted out my brand new betting template, which kind of has implications of Uncle Weezy's tits metric built into it, along with
not the tits alternative,
not the tits alternative, and not the tits workaround, not to be confused with those fantastic mathematical tools that the great mathematician Jacques Tits gave us, a few decades ago. But
no relation to Phil Tits.
No, none whatsoever that I know of. Jacques Tits, Belgian, Phil Tits, German, and both of those countries are very proud countries with rich histories, as we all know. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to find plus EV bets. And Jalen Turner right now is minus 160 to win inside the distance. So they're telling you it's about a 61.5% implied probability that he's going to finish this fight inside the distance. But we can get a Jalen Turner by sub bet at plus 850 right now on Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Jalen has 7 wins in the UFC. All 7 of them are finishes, but it's 4 knockouts and 3 submissions. And just because Renato Moicano is a BJJ black belt and a high level one at that, the club and sub is absolutely going to be in play here, just because of how hard Jalen Turner hits. And when Jalen Turner hits Moicano hard, the first reaction from Moicano is going to be to wrestle. And I think that's going to open up some opportunities here. And instead of, we would have to bet about 3.2 units on his inside the distance prop in order to profit about 2 units. But I can go at plus 850 on his sub prop and put down a quarter unit and get what was 43% of Jalen Turner's win condition prior to this fight, and get 33% of Renato Moicano's loss condition, which comes out to about 40% of Jalen Turner's win condition. You adjust that down by his 70% implied probability on his line, you're getting about a 28% value. The value is about 28% on the submission bet. We're only paying 10.5% at a line like plus 850. So using the implications of the tits metric as well as 2 fighters' prior performance at the UFC level, we can determine some value on that line. So I sprinkled it for a quarter unit plus 850.
I literally ran out of an argument because I heard the implication. I am here for the implication. Brady, go ahead.
Yeah, go figure all that out, Lou. I'll take it over here. So yeah, my last prop is actually on the Turner fight as well, and I think Turner wins this fight. I think he wins it by finish. All of his wins have come in the first or second round, and I think it could come in the first round, but round 2 it just pays more. So I'm going with Jalen Turner round 2 at plus 430. He has multiple wins in that second round. And then we can even pair me and Weezy's up here and go Jalen Turner round 2 submission at plus 2,800 for a big giant prop there. So I like that call, Weezy. I think the club and subs live. I think he can hurt Moicano on the feet. Moicano shoots in and gets his neck snatched up. And hopefully it's in round 2 plus 2,800 and plus 430 with no method there. But round 2 for me, just because it pays more.
So, I mean, I don't know what wise man ever said that round 2 pays more than round 1, but that dude sounds like a sexy motherfucker that has put many phrases into the zeitgeist of MMA Twitter. I'm going to not do that fight. I love Turner. I think actually, so this is not a prop to consider, but Brady was the one that said, yeah, if you like Turner, go round 1, round 2. Dude, my book had it at plus 115.
Holy crap.
I'm like,
nice.
Yep. I'm like, yep, that. Because if that fight hits round 3, I lost that bet anyway. If Turner gets a round 3 finish, so be it. But you figure if that fight hits round 3, it means Moicano controlled them for like 6 minutes.
And Dogfather was asking what book that is on. The Bet Rivers prop Bet Rivers Turner sub is plus 850 still. I got that last night, but that's still there at plus 850.
Can I just can I give a
ahead.
shout out to Dogfather, by the way? So this dude who I know from Big Steve's Discord, doing tons of shows now. Dude's awesome. He's funny as shit. On most shows, he's not funny because he's just doing legitimate capping because he's really good. And then we got him on the happy hour, and I'm like, turn your camera around, you hoe. And all of a sudden, he was really funny. Now he's fucking super sharp, but like he's Brady. Do you know him?
I saw a show or two with him on it. I don't know him personally though.
You and him have the same very dry humor. I think
really?
I think you would like Dogfather a lot. Maybe next year for best bets.
Okay.
Dogfather.
That'd be cool.
I vouch for this fucking dude.
He keeps thinking I'm in a sauna. I'm not in a sauna. It's just the wall.
How do you dude, that's how you lost all the weight, just with this backdrop. You didn't work out. You didn't work out. You didn't just eat chicken. You lost all the weight by this backdrop. We all know this, dude.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Dogfather's a man. All right. So I'm gonna have to just, be the one to enough of this fucking crap bullshit props. I do like a 2,800. That's nice. Jim Miller by KO plus 550. It's actually plus 575 on Fanatics. I told my homegirl Angela, who runs the new bar in my town, she's like, it's plus 575. I'm like, yeah, that. Listen, man, I cannot wait. This is gonna be one of the 3 fights I break down in like disgusting detail later. If you watch these Bobby Green fights, first of all, I love Jim Miller. Let me just get that out of the way. But if you watch these last Bobby Green fights, there's fights you can forgive, like I'm talking about guys that were southpaws, like the Makachev fight. Dude, he took that fight to make money. I don't cap that fight. Like, he's like, cool, you're paying me to show up. I'm immediately done. The Turner fight, he ended up getting knocked out by a right hand. But if you watch the setup, Turner kept throwing the left. Bobby Green never moves. If you watch the Dober fight, every left hand, he never reacted. I don't know if something's wrong with Bobby Green's right eye. He has not blocked a left hand in like 8 fights. Jared Gordon was hitting him with lefts. Jared Gordon does not throw super hard. I don't think Bobby Green can. I get everybody out there. Like, a lot of people, John Kelly, I respect. Pepe, I respect. Like, tons of people I respect that are on the Bobby Green by decision, which I get. I think Bobby Green just peppers him for. If you think Bobby Green wins, he just what's his win condition? He just stayed at distance and he peppered him. I think there's literally something wrong with his right eye. I have watched his last 4 fights. Yes, I tape. He can't see left hands coming. Do you think Miller's going to grapple here? No, he's like, fuck that, dude. Miller's not trying to contend for a title. He knows what he is at this point. Miller may retire after this fight. He hasn't said it, but let's be honest. What was Miller hanging on for? To be on this card.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking dude. That's why he's fighting Jesse Butler. He's like, I just want to fucking murder somebody. You think Miller's taking this fight thinking he's going to lose? Like, he thinks this is a good. And Miller is in great shape, dude. His health is good. I have people last night on my one show like, oh man, well, Ghost Pepper tagged them and this, that. Well, I didn't knock him out. And I get it. Bobby Green, oh yeah, he one punch Grant Dawson. That's a fluke result. Like, if they run that fight 10 times, I mean, come on, man. That's a fluke result. Like, it's a great shot. It's a fluke result. But dude, he can't see left hands coming at all anymore, man. Like I'm telling you right now, I have a bet on Jim Miller, like a tracked bet. But honestly, it's a stupid bet I made because I don't know that Miller has decision equity because nobody's grappling this. And for anybody that's like, oh man, there's a grappling advantage for whatever. Just so you guys know, this is UFC 300. This is the biggest card ever in front of the craziest crowd ever. They're not here to wrestle. They're here to knock the fuck out of each other. And I don't think that Green's going to see the left coming. I think Miller's going to knock him out. It's plus 550. That's his money line. He's not going for submissions here. This isn't like the Cerrone fight. He's going to knock this fucking dude out. And that's the end of it. So Jim Miller plus 550. And yeah, I'm not going to promise to eat my shoe on air. I made a promise last night. I will eat my shoe if the Bo Nickel fight goes over 1.5 rounds. Before we get to the main event, I will say I'm going to give an auxiliary prop. I just want to talk about real quick with you two. I don't know if you guys in the chat know, but Brady knows, and Weezy certainly knows because we've interviewed him many times. Cody Brundage, not just a friend of the channel, but a friend of mine. And when they announced this fight, before I got banned for threatening Monk for being a hoe, Monk, you're dead, man.
Now, welcome to Joe Biden's America. Please go on. Please go on. But yeah.
So Cody, when that fight was announced, everybody's tagging me like your dude's gonna die, and I'm like, fuck me, man. They Sophie's choiced me with this fight because I love Bo Nickel, and then Cody's my buddy, and he's like, you don't think this is a good fight for me? And I'm like DMing me, and I'm like, why are you doing this to me, man? And he goes, what would your strategy be? I'm like, fake an injury during ref instruction would be my. And then I said, here's my best outcome is you fake an injury, and then Chris Curtis steps in short notice and then dies. That would have been awesome. I said if you grapple him, we are not friends. So yes, do I think you play the Cody round 1 KF 100? Sure. But I'm going to give you guys a fun same game parlay when it comes out. That Bo lands 0 takedowns in the first round and wins round 1. And that same game parlay is predicated on Cody not being able to resist and jumping a fucking guillotine, which means he'd be on his back and it wouldn't count as a takedown.
Yeah.
True.
Like that bet is Cody doing Cody things. And you're probably going to get plus 400 because I imagine the Bo round 1 takedown is going to be minus $1 million. So as a fun money bet, that makes sense. Dude, is there a world where Cody just jumps guillotine immediately because he can't fucking help himself? And then he lands on his ass and Bo's like, okay, well, now I wanted to be here anyway. Like, we're done. What do you guys think? What odds would you need for Bo no takedowns in the first round?
I mean, I think it's very live. I think it's almost a certain he's jumping Gilly. This is what I think.
By the way, speaking of cool dudes, I talked about Dogfather. This right here, Paul Dahl, the most underrated motherfucker in the space. Paul
Is that
Dahl,
actually a prop that Gilly? Do they have that out yet?
BetMGM will, but Paul Dahl, coolest motherfucker in the space. He's so cool that Stargarian and Lags were like, we talk too much. We got to get Paul Dahl on.
That is very
Lags
cool.
especially was like, I talk too much. I gotta get Paul Dahl on.
He's very long-winded, Lags, but
Oh my god, he's just, all the fucker does. All that fucker does is just
He could do a solo breakdown show for 14 fights and it would take 12 minutes.
Right. Are you talking about? No,
He's so to the point, man. He's like the opposite of me. I just fucking talk for 2 hours and 40 minutes on one card. Lags is definitely using an economy of words.
I also
no question
think,
about it.
by the way, if Cody does submit him with a guillotine, the scenes on Twitter.
Yeah, that's for
Cody
sure.
to knock him down and be like, I'm going for a guillotine. I don't give a shit. And be like, what's up, bitches? I wish he could be like, that's my finisher. I knew I could hit it. Oh my God. I would die, dude. I would die if he beat him by Paul Dahl's. All right, we're going to get to the main event. And I did that nonsense. Jamal Hill, Alex Pereira. Cool fight. Weezy, go ahead.
So this is one I found on Bet Rivers, and I wanted to get it in there. Hang on just a second. Let me hit it one more time. Sorry. Because this line is ridiculous. I think it's a mistake.
What's funny is this is the one that you don't need a prop for. And like, here's for like both of these guys are going to be like, oh, 1900. I'm like, okay.
No, it's a barely a plus money number, but it's a phenomenal bet, and I don't understand it. I think it's a mistake. It's if you go to Bet Rivers to match events and statistics on the main event, it's most significant strikes. So which fighter is going to land more significant strikes? Jamal Hill is plus 115, and Pereira's
To land
minus
more strikes?
to land more strikes, not land less strikes.
Like he
land
could
more
die and still land
strikes.
more strikes. That's awesome.
Dude, Jamal Hill, I would bet him to land more strikes than anybody in the division, no matter who he was fighting, much less a guy that's like made of stone. Like this guy Pereira does not throw a lot of volume. And so let's just go over some of these numbers. They don't make sense. Pereira lands 6.2 distance strikes per minute spent at distance. Jamal Hill is landing 7.55. Pereira attempts 10.5 per minute. Jamal Hill attempts 15.5 per minute. And then the piece de resistance, right? Jamal Hill has a positive 4.04 distance striking differential in the UFC over a 55-minute sample size of UFC action. And you're going to tell me he's plus money to land more significant strikes? A guy who on the aggregate lands 4 more significant strikes per minute than his opponents do? I touched it up 3 different times, this bet. They're all untracked, but this is a line that is just way off. I mean, way off. And plus 115, Jamal Hill to land more significant strikes is free money.
Brady and Weezy just bring fucking nonsense to the show that I am here for. Like, that is not even on my radar. That was fucking great. So Brady, don't suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, by the way, this is your partner every week. Like, I can talk shit to Monk because he's the worst.
Yeah.
But you two, you guys have a symbiotic relationship, and Weezy just was like, dude, he just dropped the mic. How are you going to beat that?
You can't.
I can beat it, but I'm doing a whole different thing than he did.
You can't, man. I mean, he gave a good plus 115 there.
Are you going to say fight doesn't go at minus 900?
No.
I like that too. I think that hits.
No, I actually like the Jamal Hill side. I think there's a lot of reasons to like him. I guess the big thing is that injury, that layoff. Is he coming back too soon? But if he's 100% or close to it, I think it's a very winnable fight. There's a guy in Jamal Hill who's going to be younger. I think he's going to be higher volume, like Weezy said. I love the volume of Hill, and then I think most importantly, he's gonna be more durable as well. I think both these guys are very hittable. And I think somebody's getting served, but Alex Pereira, we've seen him hurt, we've seen him wobbled, whereas Jamal Hill's shown just like a granite chin. So I think Hill knocks him out, and I'm probably going to touch up that Hill money line, but and I'll also be touching up that Hill significant strikes. Like even in a loss like that should hit for Hill. He's so high volume, and I think he's gonna be a lot higher volume than Pereira. But I'm on the Hill money line at plus 110ish.
Sorry, I'm responding to like a whole thing about how Marab is 160 right now and like talking shit, and I'm thinking of that old joke where like, Weezy, are you like part Polish or no?
No, but I'm from Chicago, so
the old joke is that this Italian guy's getting all this fun at the beach, and the Polish guy's like, man, dude, you're just ripping chicks, and he's like, here's the trick: you get a Speedo, you get a potato, and potato down Speedo, and chicks love you. The next day, the Polish guy's like, dude, I did your thing, and it didn't work. And he's like, you got to put the potato in the front. So I'm gonna play Hill. It's plus 700. It's the same Gaethje bet. 3-4-5 KO. Hill plus 700. I like the Hill side here. I think it's great because I've seen this. They're like, everybody's like this video early in the week. Oh, look at Hill's footwork. Look at his footwork. It's like no context. Like, dude, that was round 5 of the fucking Teixeira fight. Like, that's what that's from. Like, why are you guys spreading this? And anytime as an old gambler, in a lot of sports. I see shit like that. I'm like, cool. You're poisoning the tree. I'm like, I love that. I can't. I don't like repeating myself, but there's just themes in this card. I mentioned how like Bobby Green can't see a left. I feel like Pereira just cannot see left hands like fully. Like he just doesn't. He doesn't see them well. And I think that Hill, yeah, his strength of schedule has not been great. But also he has one loss, and it was an ill-advised go to the ground with Paul Craig. Like, dude, it's like you watch a college football team that beats teams by 40 points. Like, oh, well, they're terrible. It's like, okay, but they like, what were they supposed to do? They crushed this team. I feel like Jamal Hill, like everything he's done, he's like, okay, I kicked this dude's ass. The Glover fight, oh, I couldn't finish him. It's like, dude, that was an excellent fight. And he sure as shit hit him enough times. Teixeira just went like, I'm old school tonight. Like, I'm just, I feel like people give him no credit for that. He's like, dude, I'm just fucking wearing it. Like, that for Teixeira, that was like, this is it. This is my last shot to be a champion. And he just owned it. Dude, Jamal Hill hit him a fuck ton of times and hard and direct. And Teixeira was just like, let's go, dude. I think Jamal Hill hits Pereira a bunch of times. My question for you two before we move on to Yambags is, do you see what is the potential of any grappling in this fight? And if so, is it Pereira because who he's training with now, or is it Hill because this is a liability on the Pereira side?
I think
I don't think there's grappling, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious if Pereira went out there and wrestle. But at the same time, it'd be kind of surprising to see Hill do so off that injury, right? I don't see any wrestling. Weezy, do you?
No, man, because these guys have got one combined takedown attempt in 15 combined UFC fights. One takedown attempt. You know, they're both getting the fight that they want. I think they're both going to engage fully in a distance striking battle.
Yeah. So there we go. There's our picks, and Hill has how many takedowns? I'm just saying, it's like
zero attempts, zero on.
But it doesn't. But you look at Pereira and like, what's his liability has always been like the guy doesn't have good grappling. So
Hill is a black belt for what it's worth.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to my favorite part of the show. It's the Yam Bag special. 44 of you live in the chat right now. Thank each and every one of you. If you've never watched the show before, number one, shame on you. This show's great. Narco's going live in a few hours. I'm not going to tell you not to go watch the show. He's the prop master, but I'm the funnier show. Even he would say that. So, and he doesn't do Yam Bag props. Well, that's what we're doing. It's about a kick to the sack. It's about a point deduction. It doesn't have to be a kick to the sack. It's better. It's awesome. But because we're children here. So I will let's Brady, why don't you start this one? Who's your Yam Bag special?
Yes, you guys are like more scientific behind the Yam Bag. For me,
I mean, we run the institute.
I know you do. For me though, I do it a little bit differently. My strategy for Yam Bags, I usually like to attack like the most hilarious fight on the card. And on this card, we don't really have a hilarious fight or in a hilarious fighter. So that's off the table. The next thing I look at is the biggest cheater on the card. And we don't really have many cheaters, but if I had to pick the biggest cheater on the card, who really strikes me as a cheater is Yan Xiaonan. I think Yan Xiaonan can do a lot of cheating. I think she can, grab the gloves here. I think she can grab the fence here. And we talked a little bit about this, I think, earlier in the week, Lou. Some clam bags here for this fight.
No,
so,
no, that's not the term, but that's all right.
It's close.
It will stay silent because my girlfriend decided to be racist.
Yeah, and that was all on her. But yeah, I think if I had to pick the biggest cheater, I don't know what it is about Yan Xiaonan. She just strikes me as a major cheater. So I'm looking for some fence grabs, some glove grabbing, and maybe some eye gouging from bottom here.
So it's weird because I'm looking through her history and she never faced Liang Na. So I just wanted to see if that's why you hated her.
No.
If she beat up your homegirl and you were like, I have hated her ever since.
I don't hate her. I think she's a cheater, though.
But I also think that you hold grudges for years, and that if she ever had beat Liang Na, you'd be like, it's time she pays. She pays in terms of clam bag. So you picked the clam bag fight.
Yeah, yeah.
But not the term that my girlfriend coined, which is
no, I don't want to get canceled. So
she did it.
I know
she's liable, and it will not be said in this channel. We don't stand for that shit. The MMA engine, and my girlfriend is the worst. Weezy, see, Brady, you'll get there when you get older. She could be blamed for everything at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
My horrible haircut. this one. Yeah. Weezy, what do you got for your bag shot? By the way, I hope everybody that's watching this knows I love my girlfriend, and I'm being like, it's a fucking gimmick. And she's probably back there like, fuck you. Like, I will pay for this insolence the second I'm done with the show. I will pay hardcore.
So yeah, what I'm going with here is I pretty much thought Brady was going to take my pick, because he's like, when I'm looking for a cheater, and he didn't mention Aljamain Sterling. I mean, talk about, dude, he cheated his way to a goddamn belt, and then the judges cheated the second time around. He just takes somebody's back and stays there and doesn't do shit. He's a cheater, and he's gonna get his face boxed off. He's gonna pretend he got poked in the eye. And I think that there's going to be a point deducted at some point. He's from New York. They play dirty over there. They just do. They think that their pizza's better than Chicago. It's not. It's like wait. What's that?
Who thinks their pizza's better?
Yeah, it's the New Yorkers, man. Like they could be dirty sometimes. And here you got this nice kid from Massachusetts in Calvin Cater. A wholesome kid. And I think Aljo is going to try to cheat his ass off, and I think that maybe they might catch him this time, maybe. So that's what I'm going with, man. I'm going with yam bags for Cater Sterling.
Yeah. So you know how we are professionals that have talked about science?
Professionals.
One of my big things is, like, when I'm breaking down fights, I have a checklist. Is he Brock Lesnar? Is he Samoan? Does he have chest hair? And then I do like the science if they're none of those things. One of those things for Yambags is Bobby Green in this fight, because he just fights in these fights for like, there's going to be some fucked up, stupid shit. The only problem is, like, neither one of them kick a lot. It's like really make me happy, but it is orthodox versus southpaw. And I could see an eye poke, or I could see Bobby Green just being like, fuck you, and like kicking him and punting him in the sack. He's like ruining his UFC 300. And I just can't not bet that. But I will say, as an auxiliary one, man, how do you not bet it in the Bo Cody fight? Like some weird fucking
I was thinking that. I'm just not sure if it lasts long.
It won't, right.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Yeah.
But like the scenes, dude. Cody wins by a round 1 DQ. Again.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
Oh my god.
The scenes.
Scenes
again. He'd be like, my like his vas deferens injury. Which I'm just learning is not a female part.
No, it's definitely male as well. The old vas deferens, yeah.
So we're done. We're gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna go back to the bar because Big Steve calls me out. Oh, you're boring. I'll show you a tank, bitch. So, Brady, I'm gonna start with you for promotion because Weezy's gonna promote at least one thing I'm dealing with tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I just have Okay, I got you. My final thoughts live stream tomorrow at 4ish, and then best bet Saturday around 4 or 5. So that's about all I got. Did a lot of content already. I know Weezy and you have like 50 million shows coming up today and tomorrow, but yeah, I'm almost done.
All right, Weezy.
Yeah, so you're going to see me later on tonight on the Couch Warriors panel. Myself from the desk of Lou Betya will be there as well, and then Couch Warrior, Tyler, and Pepe Sylvia. So
the legendary Pepe.
Yes. So set aside 5 hours tonight to watch us break down 13 fights. And then tomorrow, going to give a greasy 4-leg parlay on my channel after the weigh-ins. I'm also going to be on the Golden Octagon's channel doing a show, post weigh-in show over there. And then Saturday, you can find me on Brady's Best Bet, and then also over on the live watch along on Pub Sports Radio. Looking forward to stacking cash tickets like flapjacks on this UFC 300 card, which is just phenomenal.
So Sean said he's upset that he missed, and I just want to let you guys know that I clued him in that we all picked Bo Nickel money line. That was our biggest prop to consider.
We like him. We think he's going to win this one this week.
Thank you, man.
Maybe bet.
You're welcome.
I'm really excited to do what's going to be 5 hours of straight content tonight. I'm on the Couch Warrior pod. We're like one person away from being the commentators on the Naked Gun. And I bring that up because O.J. Simpson died today.
Yeah.
And I would just like to say, in the words of Norm Macdonald, he allegedly killed 2 people, but also really. So, rotten hell ho. And I will be on Weezy's show with Couch Warrior. And it doesn't matter. It's Weezy and I. We're just going to take over the fucking thing. And then literally 30 seconds after that show ends at 11:59, I'm doing the same fucking shit on this channel, but Luke's the guest, sparring with reality, like one of my favorite fucking people. So I will just let him talk, and I'll be like passed out at the desk, and you guys can just mock me. It's gonna be entertaining. Like, you won't care what my bets are at that point. I will just make it fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go follow Weezy. Go follow Brady. Subscribe to their Patreons, their OnlyFans. Weezy's feet, not horrible. Go subscribe to all this shit and protect your bags. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.